All right, so thank you so much for making it all the way to episode 3. And what I want to do different in this episode is I want to be more relaxed. I want to be more calm. If you made it this far into episode 3, that means that you are heavily interested in working with me or heavily interested and serious about really starting your podcast. So I congratulate you on that. And I want to show a sense of gratitude for just simply you being here and listening to this episode. So I've got 5 points that I want to make in this last episode here. And the first point here is finding your voice. This is finding your voice is not just about the podcast. Finding your voice is even about your life. It's about finding out who you really are, what it is that you want to do in life. Essentially, just who are you? Asking that deep internal question. And when you find out who you are, then you can really find your voice. And so what I always say to people is to find your voice, you have to do a little bit of soul searching. And you have to really ask yourself, what is it that I really want to discuss? What is it that I want to talk about? And because whatever it is that you're going to talk about, you better be darn good at it. And what I mean by darn good at it is knowing what you're going to talk about. Because if you don't, people are going to pick up on it and they're going to say, yeah, I don't think this dude really knows what he's talking about. And instead of having an effective podcast, you're probably going to get a lot of comments, people trying to correct you. And by the way, you're always going to get people trying to correct you with whatever. You could have said everything, 99.9% of everything was right in your podcast, but there's always going to be that person that's going to nitpick at your content. And so wait for it, because it will happen, and it's perfectly fine. We're all humans, but it doesn't mean that you have to pay attention to everything. You just know that it's going to be there no matter what. So the first thing is finding your voice, and I think that's something that I'm really good at working with people. When I sit down, I like to listen to whatever it is that you have to share. I ask the simple questions of what is it that you want to talk about and why is it that you want to talk about it? What's your calling? Why do you want to have a podcast? Why? What is your why? So it's very important. So, but remember that finding your voice, it's not just about podcasting. Some people are really shy, but when they really find out what they really love, you get those beautiful spirits that all of nowhere, they just sprout and they begin. If you ask them the right question, they'll just talk on forever, and they'll find themselves talking, and they'll self-realize, wait a minute, I'm actually really good at this. And but essentially what it was is that they were having a discussion about something that they really love to talk about. That's all it was. The second point is finding the best place to record. And you're going to find this all over YouTube, just pretty much everywhere. You're going to find out that there's a lot of recommendations out there. So, essentially where you should record is where you feel the most comfortable in. And you just have to make sure that, like this right here, these walls are padded. These are acoustic walls. I installed them myself. You just have to make sure that the sound quality is perfect, and that you're not working on the sound after on the editing part, but before, because you can save yourself a lot of editing by soundproofing the place that you're in, making sure that you have a carpet so that sound doesn't bounce off the walls. Right now, I have these acoustic walls. I have a carpet. I'm actually really close to the sliding door here. There's good light coming in right now. But I've soundproof this place enough where it's actually really perfect for me. And I have a Rode mixer board that makes my sound even better. And I have high quality microphones of $500-$600. So I have the equipment. I've soundproof, so my sound sounds great, and I don't have to worry about it on the editing part. The only thing that I'm really editing is just cutting pieces out that I like and I don't like. But in all honesty, I rarely even cut anything out. The only things that I really cut out are the ends, because I'm not a big fan of cutting pieces in the middle. But some people are, and it's perfectly fine. If it works for you, works for you. But for me, I like to bring in the human element. I want you to get to know me. I want you to see my flaws. I want you to see what goes wrong. I want you to see what goes great. I love the criticism, the constructive criticism, and it gives you an opportunity to also see that we're all humans, and it's perfectly fine to make a mistake when you're recording. It's okay. And I think that that's exactly what people are looking for. They want to connect with you through the reality, through your authenticity. And if you can bring that to somebody, the content really doesn't matter. It's not the topic that you're discussing. It's also you, the person. Are you human? And can I connect with you? Let me see. The other topic here I had was, plan your talking points. Now, some people, and I've met quite a few, they have the questions. They know exactly what they're going to talk about. As you can see, I have about 5 points here. Normally, when I get on an episode, if I'm interviewing somebody, I love the flow of conversations, and Joe Rogan is a perfect example of that. This guy doesn't have anything scripted. People go there. Elon Musk shows up and they'll record for like 3 hours and they'll just talk about anything. It's just if there is any planning, he probably has 1 or 2 points that he was focused on discussing. But just overall, it's free flow. That's the reason why he calls it the Joe Rogan experience, because it's an experience with Joe, and with the people that he invites. It's the experience. And I think that is what we all need to really focus on is, what is the experience that you are sharing with people? Are they connecting with you? What's the experience that you're giving them? And if you are interviewing somebody, what is it that you're conveying in that message? What are the questions you're asking? Are they important? Are they relevant? So remember that. Let me see here. So about planning, it's up to you. My recommendation is at the very beginning, definitely plan. Have 5 points. I would tell you focus on 3 main points, and just have them on a flashcard, script it somewhere, and then that's what you're going to discuss. But I promise you, if you do decide to come on board and you allow me to coach you, I will show you and I will walk you through it and show you how simple it is to actually establish a conversation with somebody and just flow. Some people are afraid that they're just going to get stuck and they're not going to have any questions. Trust me, whatever information that you are being provided with, there's going to be plenty of questions that you can ask out of that conversation that is being provided to you from the people that you are interviewing. Let me see. So the next point so microphone techniques. There are so many different microphones out there. And this episode here is not to sell you on any type of microphone. This microphone here that I have is the Shure something. I don't know specifically the model here at the top of my head. Let me see here if maybe you can see it there, but it's focused there. If you're watching this on video, but this microphone here, I think when I bought it was like $600. I have 3 or 4 of these. And I decided to go expensive. I decided to go big. I wanted to commit. And I wanted to make sure that the sound quality was phenomenal, because the sound quality is also part of the experience. And you have to make sure that, your sound is just perfect, because if it's not, I promise you, I'm sure that everybody has heard an episode of whatever podcast that just the sound quality wasn't great. And you just decided to go to the next, podcast, whatever that was, and skip right through it. So just make sure that your microphone is really good, that you should be spending at least a good $200 on a solid microphone. If you have the funds, go out and buy yourself a phenomenal experience, a phenomenal microphone, because it will set you apart and you will be that much more confident, especially when you hear yourself. I have a Rode mix board right now, and it's connected here. It's right next to me down here. If you're watching a video, watching this on video, I have full control, and it does absolutely everything for me. And all I got to do is just pull the media card out, transfer the files, and then put it together with the video, and boom, all done. And usually the editing is just towards the end. But audio, I rarely even have to worry about it. I never really mess around with audio, not unless I'm interviewing somebody and they keep doing this thing where they step away from the microphone. Then that's when we really need to get in there and edit the audio a little bit. But usually even before that, I set up my Rode mixer board just to make sure that I capture that. And it's pretty cool because, I can change the settings for every individual speaker. And the last piece here is relax. When you talk into a microphone and you're looking into the camera, you don't want to sound nervous. You don't want to come out as I'm running out of words. You just want to relax. You got to think like you have your cup of coffee. My cup of coffee is right over there. I can't reach it right now. But you just have to feel really comfortable in your own skin. You have to feel really comfortable in your own space. If you don't relax, people are going to see through it. You're going to be talking extremely fast, and you don't want to do that. You want to be cool. You want to be calm. You want to be relaxed. You want people to connect with you, and you want to connect with people. Just imagine that there's like 1,000 people listening to you right now. How would you want to be heard? So, the last point is just relax, enjoy the podcast. And when you can apply all of these different fundamentals, I promise you will have a super effective podcast. I want to thank you guys for listening all the way until episode 3. The next episodes are going to be something else. Not sure what exactly is, but I developed these 3 episodes, episode 1, 2, and 3, primarily as samples for you to listen to my audio, to watch the video if you're watching me on YouTube. So if you are considering hiring me, please, I would love your business. I can definitely sit down with you one-on-one or in groups and work with you in groups. Whatever it is that you prefer, I can also connect you with other folks, with other podcasters that can help you. Excuse me. Or I can connect you with other podcasters that would want to work with you, and that would also help you promote your own personal podcast, or whether it's marketing strategies, YouTube, whatever it is. I am here for you. I have tons of experience. Prior to this, I used to be the director of marketing for these large corporations. And now, happily to say, this is on my personal life. I actually became a teacher for adults, for adult ed. But I do this on the side, podcasting. And by the side, what I mean is I have my high performance flow state coaching that I work with people. And that's really what brings me life. And ultimately, I'm hoping that probably in the next 12 months, 18 months potentially, I will be quitting my job and I will be doing this full time as I have always wanted to do. So if you are interested in working for me, I am here for you. I am your man. Please reach out to me. I will make sure that you can find me in links where you can also connect with me and set up an appointment so that we can get on Zoom and have a discussion about how we can sprout the best version of yourself, because there is a beautiful person inside of you. There is a business person inside of you. And if you believe if you had the idea one day of starting your own podcast, follow that voice, because I guarantee you that not anybody gets those voices inside. And it's saying something about you that you probably are ready, and that something is growing, and that something wants to sprout out of your heart and your mind. And there's something important that you have to share with the world. Other than that, thank you so much for listening to episode 1, episode 2, and episode 3 of EdyTalks. See you soon.